Hi everyone, I'm Chung Wen for Godby Mobile, and in this video we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 2014 edition. The Galaxy Note 10.1 2014 edition was introduced alongside the Galaxy Note 3 phablet, which we had previously reviewed. Both devices carry the same new Samsung design aesthetic with more angular lines and subtly rounded corners. We're going to go ahead and talk about the design in just a second. In this video, first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Galaxy Note 10.1 and compare it to its predecessor, the original Galaxy Note 10.1. So this is the 2014 edition, and this is the old model, which doesn't have a year designation to it. Then we're going to go ahead and take a look briefly at some of the software that's included on the tablet, and in a separate video we're going to go ahead and cover the software features more in greater detail, so be sure to watch that video as well. Let's go ahead and get started and take a look at the hardware. On the front of the Galaxy Note 10.1 2014, which we're going to call the new Note at times during this review to just keep the naming convention short. So you're going to see the same 10.1-inch display on the old Note as the new Note, except for this time on the new Note you're going to have a much more detailed and rich screen because the screen is more high resolution. On the new Note, you're going to see that the display resolution is 2560 by 1600 pixels, which is the same resolution as that on the Nexus 10 from Google, which Samsung also makes. So compare the two. You're going to see that images and text on the new Note, which I have here on the top or on the bottom of the screen, is going to be a lot more crisp than on the old Note, which I have here on the top of the screen or underneath the new Note. So that's the first major improvement on the new Note. Also, when you're comparing both devices, you're going to see that the new Note actually is smaller in footprint despite packing in more power, including a higher resolution display. So you're going to see that when you're holding both devices in landscape orientation, that the new Note is more narrow in the width, shorter in the height, and also it's going to be a little bit more slim when you're taking a look at it from its side profile. Samsung has done a great job to make the new Note one of the slimmest full-size tablets on the market right now, so it's both slim and light, so it's actually a bantamweight competitor in a heavyweight category of tablets, full-size tablets. The new Note does have sharper, more angled lines, as you can see here, with subtly rounded corners, so it doesn't have some of the more fluid curves that are apparent on the older Note. Like the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, when you're taking a look at the side profile and this band that goes around the side, the band is actually plastic but is made to look like stainless steel or aluminum, so it does give it a more premium look and feel to the tablet. And like the Note 3, the band does have striations or grooves going around it, so it makes it kind of more comfortable and grippy to hold on to. On the rear of the tablet, you're going to have the same design that was introduced earlier this year, or earlier with the Note 3 that we recently reviewed. You're going to have a faux leather backing with a faux stitching that goes around the edges, so this adds to the luxury feel of the Note tablet when you're holding it in your hands. On the back, you have an 8-megapixel camera with a single LED flash that can also record 1080p videos, so it's actually the same camera that's on the Galaxy S3, which is last year's flagship smartphone. On the front, you do have an HD front-facing camera for video chatting, so this is good for talking to your friends using video on Google Chat or another video chatting application. It's a 2-megapixel camera on the front. And like other devices in the Note family from Samsung, you do have the S Pen, and this is the new S Pen this year. It does have the S button or the side button on the S Pen, which allows you to click and have additional functionality. New to the S Pen this year and new to the Note 10.1 2014 edition is this new Air Command menu, which activates when you pull out the pen from its socket. So there are now 5 additional features to the S Pen right on top of this UI that we're going to go ahead and cover in the second video of this review series for the Note 10.1 2014 edition. Also, this device, unlike the Note 10 or unlike the Note 3 in the US, this device actually runs on Samsung's octa-core processor, so it's an 8-core Exynos 5 processor. It's not a true octa-core in that only 4 cores are active at any given time, so if you're in a high-performance app or if you're playing a graphics intense game, the 4 full-powered cores will activate on to give you the extra processing and graphics power that your task requires. And if you're not using the tablet for any intensive tasks, then the 4 lower powered cores kick in to help conserve battery life. I've used the Note 10.1 for roughly almost a week now, and this new tablet actually lasts between 7 and 10 hours on a single charge, depending on what you're doing at the time. So if you're using the cameras heavily, if you're connecting to the internet and streaming videos more, then you're going to get less battery life. But it's a solid performer with a great battery life, given that it does have a high resolution screen, plenty of horsepower under the hood, 3 gigs of RAM, and a very slim and elegant lightweight design. Like the other devices in the Note series, you're going to also have the S Note application, which will give you a tool to write, draw, and doodle, so you can use the S Pen. It's a pressure-sensitive pen, so you can go ahead and write. If you write lightly, you're going to get a thinner pen or brush stroke, and if you press in harder, you're going to get a darker or richer pen stroke. You can also convert your handwriting into text. So I'm going to go ahead and circle that, and then I can always convert that into type text. Unfortunately, it didn't read my handwriting too well there, but it did get the Be Mobile right. Samsung has also included a number of value-added applications with the Note 10.1 2014 edition. One of them is Bloomberg Businessweek, which gives you access, it's actually a digital magazine, so it gives you access to similar content that's on the printed edition of the Bloomberg Businessweek magazine. This is the digital edition, which comes with enhanced features such as videos that's not present if you're a print subscriber, obviously. So you do have a year subscription to Bloomberg. If you register the tablet, you're going to have extra goodies, including a year subscription to wireless hotspots globally when you're traveling. You're going to also have access, a time-limited edition access to the New York Times, and you're going to also have access to a number of other subscriptions, including 50 gigabytes of storage through Dropbox as well. So those are just some of the extra niceties that Samsung has added to the value of the Galaxy Note 10.1. The device actually starts at 16 gigabytes of onboard storage for $550, so it's priced $50 more expensive than the iPad at base retail. However, you do have a number of value-added features that enhance the value of this tablet. The device has 3 gigabytes of RAM, so you're going to have access to Samsung's award-winning simultaneous multitasking feature through the multi-window, where you can run 2 applications simultaneously side by side. So here we're going to go ahead and try and run 2 applications. And in addition, you can even run additional applications on top of these by using the Air command menu and then drawing the pen window. So this allows you to create floating windows on top. So I just moved the browser out. Let's go ahead and go and launch. So I have file browser here, Kayak, which is an application, and have the browser running on top, floating on top of the Galaxy Note 10.1 here. And you can have multiple floating windows on top of the display as well by drawing additional pen windows using the S Pen and the Air command menu. So this is a quick look around the hardware of the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 2014 edition. I'm Chung Win for Gotta Be Mobile. Please join me in the next video review where we're going to talk more about the software of the Galaxy Note tablet in greater detail.